Lobbying consists of communications that are intended to influence specific legislation. In achieving their set goals through lobbying-free advocacy, faith-based organizations working in reproductive and family health in Nigeria are often faced with defining the thin line between advocacy and lobbying as regards guidelines set by the United States Internal Revenue Service. This was the topic for discussion at a critical session in a one-day workshop on the role of faith leaders in child and family health programs in Abuja.
Lobbying, whenever I mention it here, you see it painted red. Because if you do it in a project like PACFAH, it's a crime. But people in some other places use lobbying to achieve their goals. Lobbying have no boundaries. That's the problem, number one. There's no limit to what you are doing. And at the end of the day, if I say, what did you do in lobbying? You may not even report it. You can't even document the process of what I did. It's just end justify the means. And that's why most standard organizations run away from it, even though it's a technique. So if you see people running out from something because of its implication, and even people can hold you and even blackmail you with lobbying, then it's difficult for you to have a best practice for it. There's no best way to do it because people are discouraged to lobby. You need to change people on principle. If you are a lawmaker, you are voted to bring changes to your community. All I need as an advocate is for me to give you guidance and information and support your cause on principles, not on to lobby behind. So I'm sure people in the house can contribute to that, and especially the lawyers in the house.
Many of us here are in non-governmental organizations, non-profit organizations, and non-partisan organizations. And the reason why lobbying is not encouraged or is not allowed in some cases is because it will push NGOs into becoming partisan, and then they cross the line of being non-partisan in their operation and in their activities. For the purpose of this project, which is receives funding from Gates Foundation, and Gates Foundation was created in the US, and the US has a law which says foundations that give money to NGOs to do work cannot engage in lobbying, because lobbying is a form of politics that is not encouraged in the US. So what does it mean to lobby? How is it different from the advocacy you do? I think Dr. Gorzo has brilliantly defined what advocacy is. So what is lobbying then? I think it's going an extra mile. If you go to a legislator, a lawmaker, or a government official, and you say, I heard that there is a bill before the National Assembly or before the State Assembly on doing A or B. I am here to say that I support A and not B, and I want you to support A and not B. Categorically identifying your position regarding a law or a policy that is before the government. That is what lobbying is as far as the US definition is concerned. But in terms of doing research, getting information, communicating it to them, telling them what the problem is, telling them how to avoid repeating the same problem that is happening in the society, all these things you can do, you can use the avenues that you have. The only thing you are not allowed to do is to do what Dr. Gozo has already told us, which is to use unconventional means like giving money or doing things that may result in conflict of interest. So I think it seems like the people in this room are very smart. They understand that even on principle, I think this is not something that they would like to do. But the reason why we always like to emphasize is if you violate the law, it also affects the donor, because then they will say, well, people you are supposed to be in Nigeria are doing lobbying, and that may affect their tax exempt status, meaning that they may not pay tax in the US if they are not supporting lobbying. But if they support lobbying, then they will have to pay tax. So in a nutshell, focus more on advocacy, do your community engagement. Lobbying, there is a document that DRBC has commissioned us to develop, which specifically define what lobbying is, examples of lobbying, and I encourage all the partners to read that because it will help them in avoiding a problem with the law. And one of the reasons why I'm in the room is to make sure that nobody has problem with the law. And if you have problem with the law, let me know.
There are certain times that you find these resistant groups, very especially when we talk about issues of immunization. And you have to apply some tactics in such a way that you are not giving money, but they are asking you as an organization that their own bodies of not even accepting this type of immunization is that either the government or the Hakimi or the religious leader in that group has neglected their area, and you have to go back with your vaccines and it's going to spoil. And you have to listen to them. What are those things that they need? And then they tell you, and you find you as an organization that you can offer something from the organization's pocket.
And you decided to give out mint or sweets to the child, or mosquito net, or something of that nature. And you said you are not lobbying.
It's not lobbying.
What is it?
We're not even talking about lobbying now. We're talking about bribery. You're trying to bribe, give something to someone so that he will change his opinion.
In the course of bribing, you are lobbying exactly.
Exactly. But the lobbying, as far as the legal definition is concerned in the US term, actually it doesn't happen when you are dealing with someone who is not in position of authority to make a decision. It's applicable only and only when a lawmaker, and by lawmaker we mean elected members of state assembly or elected members of national assembly, that is senators or members of the House of Representatives, or someone working with or for them officially, or you are going to a governor who has the power to sign laws. Otherwise, when you deal with any other person, you may express your preferences in that regard. What they don't want is you are a non-partisan organization, you are not involved in open politics. So they don't want you to go to a lawmaker and try to clearly influence his position one way or another. Yours is to do advocacy, and by doing advocacy is when you are enlightening him to, you are providing him with information that will assist him in making informed decisions. But as far as breaking resistance is concerned, we normally go to places, we meet people who are very hostile. One of the things we are taught in advocacy is to break the ice and create an enabling environment so that they would even listen to us. I don't want to answer this, but if you go to Pada, but there's nothing wrong, maybe kasi goro ka kai ka bayar misali an gaisuwa mun gaida sarki. It doesn't fall within the scope of lobbying or not, because what you are doing is you are trying to say, okay, let me set the stage correct. I want to be culturally appropriate with these people. But someone is resisting polio, in your angon ko na ka kira shi da daddare, wanda kana lafiya galau kaza don Allah na kira ka ne akwai ga wannan 20,000 ne a gari ke na san wata kana da problem, amma da Allah batun abin polio nan kare na magana akai kai ko wakin ka kai shiru. Me hukuncin wannan? That is what you that is what we think you should not do. It's even common sense will tell you that is corruption. The goal is to educate, use your skills, there are many tools, and then get